Seems strange to most of us not seeing the United States in World War II. After all, the most amazing war stories came from the United States forces. Some remember the war through the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki by the American forces. Some of us probably remember it by the several iconic weapons used during the war, such as the Lee Enfield or the Thompson. The iconic image of American soldiers in Iwo Jima. Yet, we have to understand that at that time the United States were experiencing an isolationist mood, with many Americans not seeing the need for endless horrific combat. Most Americans didn't even understand what the Axis forces were doing in Europe. Yet, the US still persisted, supporting both sides, mainly Britain and Japan. But this all changed when the Japanese would test the United States patience on Hawaii, Pearl Harbor, Honolulu. The attack on Pearl Harbor has an element of mystery surrounding it. Some may say the Japanese decision to attack the naval fleet stationed in Pearl Harbor, Honolulu, was quite stupid. The Japanese forces had intended for the attack to be a preventive measure to keep the US Pacific Fleet from interfering with their military plans in Southeast Asia against overseas forces such as the Great Britain and the Netherlands, and of course the United States. The Japanese used several fighters, dive bombers, torpedoes, and etc. That day was quite literally hell to the American soldiers stationed there. Pearl Harbor. 2,403 Americans were killed, 1,178 others were injured. Important base installations such as the power station, dry docks, shipyards, maintenance, and fuel and torpedo storage facilities, as well as the submarine, piers, and headquarter building. Also home of the intelligence section, were not attacked. Japanese losses were light: 29 aircraft and 5 midget submarines. Lost in 64 servicemen killed. Kazuo Kazamaki, the commanding officer of one of the submarines, was captured. What's up guys, it's me, Vacation Nikolai, and today we're in Hawaii. We're here to relax and enjoy the natural fauna. We have the amazing palm trees, we have the amazing volcanoes here in Honolulu, we have Pearl Harbor, but who knows what happened there. And of course we're going to relax. Let's go swimming in the beach guys. And of course let's relax. Oh god, that's normal, that's our natural bird. What F-19 Japanese aircraft? I guess that's normal here in Hawaii. We practice with them bombs here every day. But the lack of any formal warning, particularly while peace negotiations were still apparently ongoing, led President Franklin D. Roosevelt to proclaim December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
A date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
The Japanese intended the attack as a preventive measure to keep the United States Pacific Fleet from interfering with each planned military action in South Asia against overseas territories of the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the United States. Over the course of 7 hours, there were coordinated Japanese attacks on the US-held Philippines, Guam, and the Wake Islands, and on the British-held islands in Malaya, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Additionally, from Japanese viewpoints, it was seen as a preventive strike before the oil goes empty. Around that time, as we know, the Commonwealth of the Philippines was established with the support of Douglas MacArthur and Manuel L. Quezon at its helm. Several laws were passed by the Commonwealth and the US government to make the Philippines a more democratic government, ruled by ideologies, peace, and free speech. But what we, the Commonwealth, didn't acknowledge, or rather Quezon, is the Japanese forces. While Quezon and MacArthur having their bro time, the Philippines would soon be occupied by Japanese forces, with Douglas MacArthur having to leave with the famous line,
"To the people of the Philippines whence I came, I shall return."
Hello? Bro,
Quezon.
Douglas MacArthur, it's me, Manuel Quezon. Oh, alam ko mo lang cellular po noon ang panahon. Pero tinawagan pa rin kita, okay? Kamusta ka na dyan?
Well, first of all, kalaban ko si Hitler.
Kalaban mo si Hitler, ito yung Axis forces.
He is tearing the country like Swiss cheese.
Inahatay na yung country, parang Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Okay, Douglas. Nasaan na yung promise mo? I shall return.
Magre-return ako.
MacArthur,
Dead balls
yung
na si
mga
Hitler.
hapon dito, nakakabwisit na. Nasaan ka na?
Si Franklin D. Roosevelt kasi ayaw ko palisin eh. Agad sa daw hindi dead balls si Hitler.
Okay, Douglas. Goodbye. Have a nice life.
Naglunsad ang bansang Hapon sa supresang atake sa Clark Air Base, Pampanga noong December 8, 1941. Halos 10 oras lamang matapos ang pag-atake sa Pearl Harbor, ang pagbobomba sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng eroplano isinundan ng pagdating ng mga sundalong Hapones sa Luzon. Ang hukbo ng mga Pilipino at Amerika, December 7, 1941. sinalakay ng mga puwersang Hapon ang Pearl Harbor, Honolulu, Hawaii. Sunod-sunod na sinalakay ng mga Hapon ang mga base ng Amerikano sa Davao, Cavite, Baguio, Clarkfield. The Filipino people have been through a lot. Mainly, as we know, the Philippines has been colonized several times before. So, the Japanese colonization only added salt to the wound. El Presidente de la Mancomunidad!
Estoy ako para declaras independencia de las Islas Pilipinas.
Los estadounidenses
Amigo!
están ako'y!
Sa Amerikano! People of the Philippines, people of the United States, I'm happy to announce today the full independence of the Philippines. Sir, reporting in, Sergeant Nikolai. Sergeant Nikolai, we have reports of enemy invasion of Japanese forces once again right after 7 hours of the Pearl Harbor attack. The Japanese is reporting in right now. Islands. All men to their stations. I'm out of here.